Hey y'all, welcome back to another Monster High ranking video. Today we are going to be ranking all of the Jinafire Long dolls. If you guys haven't seen this series on my channel before, it is a series where I take a look at Monster High characters from Gen 1 and Gen 2, and then I rank all of the dolls released for that character based on my personal opinion. With that being said, it is just my opinion. I'm sure some of you guys will disagree, and that is totally fine. I would love to hear your rankings and your thoughts on the dolls in this video in the comments down below. But yeah, we are going to be looking at Jinafire today. We are sort of very slowly getting to the end of this series, so this is another short one. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but we're kind of clearing out the last few dolls that have just a couple of releases, and then we'll do a couple mega videos, and then the series will be done, and I don't know what will happen after that. We don't have to think about that just yet. Today we can just focus on Jinafire. If you guys do find yourself enjoying the video as we go through it, if you could give it a like, that would be awesome. And if you are new here and this is your first time seeing anything from me, hi, welcome. If you like what you see, maybe consider subscribing for more. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with the ranking. If you are unfamiliar with the rankings that I do on this channel, I do use Procreate, and the tiers that I use for my Monster High rankings are perfect, good, and good but not for me. That one is for dolls that I can objectively say have a good design. They're not ugly, but I just don't personally like them. Then we have mediocre, bad but it gets worse, and burn it. And with Jinafire, I do have a few dolls on each layer because I am disorganized. That's all I can really say. So on this first layer, from left to right, we have got the new Scaremester, the original, and then the swim class. So let's go ahead and start with new Scaremester. This one's funny because I remember vividly disliking this doll a lot when I was younger and first collecting Monster High dolls. And now when I was preparing this video, I was like, why did I hate her so much? I can see like things that I dislike about her. I think I don't like this hairstyle. That's definitely probably the number one thing that's throwing me off, is I just don't think that that's a very flattering hairstyle, or at least this particular stock photo. I don't like the way that it looks, but I love the pants. I love the bag. I think that the shoes with the details are so pretty. Her shirt is okay. I think that I don't like the pink and green print because I feel like it clashes a little bit with the red. The pink is like a bit too purpley for the rest of this design, but overall, not nearly as bad as I remember. I don't know why. I really don't know why I was so against this doll, but I'm not anymore. So she is going to go solidly in good. There are definitely dolls I like more, but not a bad start. Speaking of dolls I like more, though, the original Jinafire. I don't have this doll, but I would love to own her. She is so beautiful. This was obviously the first time that we saw her mold, so like the tail and like the scales all over her body. That was new and fun and fascinating. I love the hairstyle for this one. I just think she looks better with like the half up, half down, or even like a lot of hair down. I just think it looks really, really beautiful on her. The colors and her dress are just so stunning. I love the asymmetry. Everything about this is beautiful. I'm sure you guys can guess where this is going to go. Perfect. Which is so funny because I know every time I make one of these videos I say this, but a lot of the times the original introduction of a character is one of my favorite dolls of theirs, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why I feel like Monster High knocked it out of the park when they introduced new characters, but I feel like the first one was always so good. I guess I shouldn't be complaining that they were good dolls. I just think it's like a funny trend. Then we have Swim Class, and if you guys have been watching this channel and seen this series for a while, you know that Swim Class is a line from Monster High that I think is really, really well executed. I think most of the dolls from this line are absolutely gorgeous. And I think that most of Jinafire's design also fits into that mold, but I just really hate the hair. Like, this is just not a hairstyle that I'm a fan of. I don't know if it's because short hair on dolls gets like very thick very quickly and very awkward to work with very quickly, that maybe it was just a difficult design to execute, but I don't think that that part looks good. However, if I kind of crop the hair and I look at just her outfit, I do think that the designs are really cool. I think that the transparent flame accents to her swimsuit are really, really beautiful. The bag and the towel are fine. I just have to include the hair, unfortunately, during this ranking, and I think that that's going to bump her down a couple rankings, and I have to give her to mediocre because I really, really dislike that hair, but everything else is so good. Then we have Ghoul's Getaway on the left, and then Gloom and Bloom on the right. So Ghoul's Getaway, I feel like I've never looked in depth at this Jinafire. I'm like taking it all in right now. I really like her makeup on this one. I think that that's very fun. The print is okay. I know that like Ghoul's Getaway had a lot of like this theming to it, so it's trying to mesh Jinafire, but I just don't know if it hits the mark. I don't know. There's nothing about her that I can say I actively dislike, but I just don't feel super strongly about her. I think I'm going to go ahead and put her in good but not for me because I feel like the design isn't bad. I'm just not vibing with this doll, which is, you know, not her fault. It's just a personal preference. But Gloom and Bloom, this whole line, again, much like Swim Class, Gloom and Bloom was a great line, and this doll is so cool. Again, the hair accessories, I feel like Jinafire just looks really good with hair accessories, but there's so many prints in her dress, so many layers to it, and they all work so well together. I'm obsessed with these little, like, cap sleeves. Those are so gorgeous. Bag is cute. The shoes... Guys, the shoes are so good. I love the detail with the different colors on that. I feel like it would not have hit the same if they hadn't added multiple colors to the flowers, and I'm glad they have that detail because it just looks so good. The one jade bracelet, this is a beautiful doll, and she is, again, going to go in perfect. Man, Gloom and Bloom. Always such a good one. Okay, and then lastly, on the left, we have Fierce Rockers, and then Freak de Chic on the right. So, Fierce Rockers, again, if you have seen these before, you know that I am weirdly a fan of these. I feel like most of the designs are kind of bare bones compared to what Monster High might have produced if this line had come out earlier on while they were, like, in their initial run. But I don't think that they're bad designs, realistically. I feel like her dress is relatively simple but pretty cool. I think she's got, like, I can't tell if that's a shorter skirt under there or shorts, but either way, I like the asymmetry. I like the cut of that. I feel like her keyboard, I like the mold of it a lot. It could use a little bit more painted detail, but again, like the bones are there. She's got a kind of collar that's almost flame reminiscent. Her makeup is really, really pretty in this doll to me, and I like the colors that are blended in her hair on this one. I don't know why, because I feel like this is like the opposite of good but not for me. I feel like most people don't like the Fierce Rockers line that much, but I really like it. And I feel like it would have been better, again, if it had been produced sooner. But I still don't think it's bad, and maybe I'm giving it too much credit, but I really, really like this doll. Not quite enough to put her in perfect, but she is going to go into good. And then lastly, we have Freak de Chic. Now, Freak de Chic is one of my favorite Monster High lines of all time. But I feel weirdly mediocre about this Jinafire. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the straight across bang. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that on her. Or the makeup seems like a little bit whimsical, because she has very dramatic eyebrows. So I feel like when you can see her eyebrows when there's not a bang in the way, that gives her more of a dramatic look. But with the bang there, you can't really see her eyebrows. And so she almost looks like too nice, if that makes sense. I do think her accessories were really cool, though. The flaming fan is beautiful, and then the flame that she has in her hand here could actually stick into her mouth as well. That's why you can see like a little hole in her lips, so she could be breathing fire. That, I think, is really, really fun. A great way to accentuate her dragon design, and then also theme it for Freak de Chic. I thought that was beautiful. I love all the prints in Freak de Chic. Like, this is just a line that was made for me with the theming, but her collar's really, really cool. I like the shoes a lot. I feel like the only thing throwing her off is the hair. I feel like I've been saying that a lot this video. The hair is just like not necessarily something I'm always a fan of. But imagine if she didn't have bangs so you could see those dramatic eyebrows so she looked like just a smidge meaner. I feel like this is still a really good doll. I don't feel like I can put her in perfect because with the bangs, it really does throw me off. I feel like her face just looks completely different with the bangs. But she's still good. I still love every other aspect about her. The hair isn't that bad. So she's going to go in good, which means that this is our final ranking. This is a very nice ranking. It's funny because I don't tend to think of Jinafire when I think of my favorite Monster High characters. It's obviously not that I dislike her. It's just that she doesn't come to mind first when I think of characters that I really, really love the dolls of. But clearly I really, really like her designs. It's just so funny because, like, this has happened a few times now during the process of doing these rankings where I realized that I feel differently about a character than I thought I did. And I definitely like Jinafire more than I knew. So I'm very curious to see if you guys have similar feelings about her. But yeah, that's going to be the ranking. So yes, guys, that is going to be it for today. This one was a nice positive one. Some of these rankings, especially with the characters that I've been doing lately that have had fewer releases, have been pretty brutal, pretty negative. I know Howlene's was really bad, so kind of ending on a more positive note with Jinafire is pretty nice. But that is all we have today, so I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!